It's recording.
So, Sarah, would you like to start off saying where you're from?
I'm Sarah Hobart. I'm from New Hampshire and I'm a graphic design major.
I'm Rachel. I'm his sister. And I'm from Virginia. And I'm a psychology major.
Awesome. And I'm Sam, if you forgot. Sparacino, developing world class. This is the final. Um, and so, I guess we'll just begin. Did you guys have any, before we started, any questions for me about the website, Cambodia?
Yes, I have various questions.
Want to speak up? So,
And my first question is, how will not finishing primary education affect future generations? Because on the education part, it talks a lot about how they'll start off through primary education, but then they won't have enough money to finish it.
say it again then. How will not?
So how will not finishing primary education affect the future generations of Cambodia?
And so right now that's what's happening right now is that's the issue in education right now in Cambodia is that um, the children aren't finishing. About 88% enter in primary education, but only 43, about half that percent actually continue. So half that drop out, and so
Why did they drop out?
because there's a lot of reasons. The main reason is because they're poor, and so they need those kids to be actually working or helping in the fields, and so they just can't afford to have their kids in school. They need them to be helping with working and making money.
So is education there free?
Um, no, it's not free. I know at higher levels, I know, I know it's affordable at primary education. It's either free or affordable. I can't remember. But at the higher educations, it's a lot more expensive. So that's another reason why people drop out. And so obviously, when people are dropping out of education, it's going to affect the future. They're not educated. They're going to stay in that poverty state. So
I just see it as there won't be enough people to fill in the professional jobs. Like
yeah, exactly. So there won't be enough.
There'll just be more farmers than actual.
Yeah. So the majority of the Cambodians are poor, and so a lot of them are poor because they don't get educations because they can't because they're stuck in the poor. It's like this cycle that they're stuck in. Um, it's like a tradition almost for them. Like we're poor, we're gonna stay poor. And so I talked about on the site how they literally need like a third party to come and like give them money or tell them you need to do this to get out of poverty, or they're just gonna keep going day to day with their lives like that. Or it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay. So like with the loan stuff, you said something about like people look for short-term goals instead of long-term.
Yeah.
But do you think if like everyone decided to look at long-term goals, like people would die? Because they have to get their food for the next day.
Yeah.
And if they're looking at getting an education instead, like how would they pay for that? And then how would...
Yeah, it's scary. That's why it's extremely hard for them. That's why they're stuck in that state. They think long term, and they're like, we can't. How are we going to get food for the next day? And so my solution was creating small businesses or small banks that give out loans to the poor, because there's banks there, but they won't give loans to the poor because it's too risky. Like the poor probably won't pay you back.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, which makes sense. So I wanted to develop a certain bank that gives out loans, but not just gives the loans, but teaches them. And so that teaches them how to use their money. Maybe someone that sits down with you, finds out what kind of skills they have, and like, all right, with these skills you can do this and this and this, and they'll be monitored. They'll monitor that person or family that has the loan and make sure they're utilizing that money correctly.
So will everyone get a different loan depending on their family, or everyone gets the same?
Yeah, I would assume so. I mean, it's honestly, because I served in Guatemala, there was a guy, he was doing this. He was giving out, he found out what they did. Like this, for example, this one lady, she knows how to make like all these different tortilla stuffs, and but she doesn't have the money to get the materials and make it. And so he sat down. He's like, I'm gonna give you the money, but this is what you need to do. You're gonna buy it for this price, and you're gonna sell it for this price. You're gonna make a profit. With that profit, you're gonna put some money in savings. You're gonna keep some and some as tithing because she was LDS. And so he sat down with her. You need to do this every time. And so.
So they would be doing this via like Skype.
No, there was a guy. He was there. He went there.
I know, but for your program.
For my I initially said for this to kind of get started, I would have to go there, and maybe a few other people who are experienced, who I've explained to. We would go there, and then we would explain this to some of the Cambodians that are maybe a little bit smarter, and then they can.
And you would need a lot of donors for this to work. So you would talk about donation money.
It doesn't. This kind of idea doesn't really need like a building and all these fancy stuff. They just need a little donation money, which isn't a lot. like for example, when I was saying in Guatemala, the guy he only gave transferring to dollars. He only gave about $10, and that's all she needed to just start. And then she could get rolling. It was $10, and then she could make a profit and keep going and slowly. She's not going to become rich, but she needs something to help her. She needed that third party to come in to just give her something because the way she was living, she couldn't make a profit anyway. So that was my idea for Cambodia, to give them a little something, and they'll make a profit, and eventually they can start paying us back. But there's already organizations doing this.
So they want you to pay. You want them to pay you back eventually.
So the loan is.
Yeah, it's a loan.
Even
so,
if it was $10.
Well, if I wanted
I feel like if it's a donation.
If I wanted to keep doing this business and help other people, all they would have to do is pay back $10. It's not like a fortune.
But isn't that a fortune in other countries? Like in
yeah, but if they're making a profit, this is the idea.
So the idea is to pay back eventually.
Do you feel bad that they have to pay me back?
I just feel like because it's like if you have a bunch of donation money, then you're giving it to like other people to help
and that
them
motivates
out.
them.
And it's
yeah.
alone, like you don't want to like because there's so many people to help out. If you just give everyone $10, that ends up adding up too.
Yeah.
And you probably won't have like that much donation money to start out with.
And that motivates them to continue making a profit.
Wait, are you not giving back money to the donors?
No, just to the bank.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant to the donors.
No, not to the donors. Well, no, not to the donors. It's like an organization, is what I wanted to do. An organization that gives out small loans.
No.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and this would be like a private run company.
Well, anyone can join. Anyone can donate.
No, I'm saying like the U.S. wouldn't help you. It'd be like your own thing.
Yeah. It'll be my own thing. Yeah.
You could probably get donations from the US though.
Probably, yeah. But there's in this class we talk a lot about globalization and about how one person can make a difference. And there's people that just want to help because they can connect with around the world. They want to, and so if there's a way I can help Cambodia by sitting on my couch at home, people want to do that, and they'll do it for fun.
Would you do
That's the great part of our time, huh?
Would you actually do this?
Yeah. Probably before, not really, but the amount I've read up on, I think it's cool. And serving in Guatemala, they need it so bad, and they're really appreciative. You can see them, like, you give them a little bit of money, like $10. That's like a meal at McDonald's.
Do they use dollars in Cambodia?
And then they can start a life. Huh?
What's the currency?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. The
Or
currency.
like the.
I know I'm not sure.
What it is to the dollar.
I don't know what it is to the dollar.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Not prepared.
And what was I gonna say? So do you think just educating these people, do you think it'll actually change their behavior?
No. Changing their behavior, I think, is different. And that's a lot. I talked a little bit about that, like changing their traditions, their behaviors. That's something it's kind of scary. It's like changing our behaviors and traditions. Right? We have a norm, and then someone says this is a better way. You need to do it like this. But when you're already comfortable, it's safe. Um, so educating is one thing, but changing their behaviors is another thing. And I think that's what a third party can help. Someone there saying you can do it.
You
just
change
teaching
behavior
them.
by rewarding them with the little
They
steps
reward
they do.
themselves. The whole thing I like about this is that they do it on their own. I want them to feel like they can make a profit. They don't
Yeah.
like we're giving them money, but then they're doing the work. They're doing everything. They're gonna feel like I can do this. I want them to change their mindset. I don't have to be poor forever. I can, with this money and with this guy teaching me, I can become something else. That was my big idea, and that's
How would you help the people who can't expand their agricultural businesses? With all the landmines everywhere.
Oh, sorry. Could you? Whose is that? Who is it? Oh, that's fine. Sorry. Sorry. Could you repeat that? Oh, how can they expand their agricultural?
Yeah.
Just like their lands and
Help
farming. Well, they can expand to some extent, but a lot of it. I don't know how much of the landmines take up Cambodia. I know it does take up a lot of part, and it does hinder like expansion of agriculture, but I don't know actually how much. But I know it doesn't take up all of Cambodia. There's still a lot of land that is safe, and I'm sure the government has said this is like landmine area. Don't come close. Within a certain radius. I'm sure they have an idea, but because of that, they can't use that area. So I'm not sure they're not like tiptoeing around. They're like, I'm pretty sure they have an idea of where.
Are the
Locations of
landmines
landmines.
from outside countries for like, well, we're gonna use your land as landmines? Or
Wait,
is it
what?
their own country?
No, they have internal wars within Cambodia. There's wars, and that's from the wars they've had.
Oh, the landmines.
The landmines, yeah, like bombs. Yeah,
Oh, is that what landmines
a
are?
landmine, yeah, it's like a hidden bomb in the ground. You don't see it, you step on it, and it goes boom. That's a landmine.
Oh, I thought it was like
Mining? No,
Yeah.
no, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
So is it origin like communism and like economism? or
Just
something?
wars throughout histories for different reasons.
What kind of dictatorship do they have?
Right now they're trying to go towards a democracy, like a.
But what do they have?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the form of government right now?
They have like regimes. I don't know if that makes sense, but
Like,
they're right now.
like, is it socialism or is it like democracy? But it's a bad democracy.
It's.
See what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's a democracy.
It is.
It is a democracy. It's not a very good one, but it's a democracy. I believe. I know they're working towards democracy, and that's what they want, and that's what they've been trying to do. And so I think
they do have one.
they do have one. It's just not. They're trying to eliminate corruption and all that stuff because in the past it was different. It wasn't really a democracy. And so, but that's a good question. I haven't really thought too much about that.
Because one would think like communism might be the answer because it's like this will force them to get jobs and like force them to get education. Like,
I don't
here's
think
your
communism's ever the answer.
but like it kind of makes sense, but it, from a gospel
Well, the idea
perspective.
of communism does make sense, but it never turns out like that.
Yeah, it's usually just because dictators want power.
Yeah.
But if it was like a good communism, it would
Like a utopia. But
So what are the most pressing issues that should be solved first if you were to get those banks? Like, what do you think should be solved first?
Okay, that's a good question. So the question was, what should be solved first? If I did get my organization up and was giving out loans, I thought that because I did talk a little bit about this on my website, how Cambodia they have so many problems, And every time there's a problem, they try to solve it instead of going to the root. Like, for example,
Oh, like with high child births. Let's just bring in like what's it called? Residential. Like really they should be educating people.
Yeah.
yeah, like why people are, like for primary education, like
Yeah,
kids,
that was the one.
like why they're dropping out, right? And instead of solving that, it's I think the root's poverty. Like if you give them money and help them um, get started, have some revenue in the family, and they can buy food. They won't need their kids to leave school, and the kids can stay in school, and then they can get educations, and then they'll bring back more money because they'll get jobs. You know, and so I think in the long run, poverty
The problem.
is like the root of their problems. That's how I feel, because out of all the MTGs that I talked about, all the goals, I said that poverty was kind of the root, in that so giving them money will help them.
What's the main religion in Cambodia?
The main religion,
Mm-hmm. Are they like Buddhists or like?
I think it's Buddhism.
Because maybe like bringing in.
I know it's like before the schools were very religious, and so they changed it to kind of like the French model, like the normal, which was kind of more expensive.
So basically,
It was more religious back in the day, but
Christians aren't dominant.
I don't know like the religious statistics.
Because bringing in like missionaries or like church groups would probably help as well, like bringing religion in. Because that motivates people to do stuff with their lives.
That's a good perspective to think about that.
Because you said that there's barely any religion now. They aren't very religious.
No, the
teachers, but-
schools aren't very religious.
Oh,
So before it was like the schools were like, they were super religious.
they would teach you religious concepts.
Yeah, like I think I don't know exactly how they just said the schools were very like religious oriented, and now it's more like learning and education oriented to help get jobs and stuff.
I think you're right on with the poverty thing being the root problem, because if you think about it, like we're not poor, and so we're able to get an education, and we're able
Yeah.
to like do all this stuff, get healthcare, and have like nice houses and this and that.
Yeah.
And like if we didn't have money, we wouldn't be able to do any of that stuff, and we'd be like
Yeah.
in a similar position.
And just from my past experience seeing, like being in Guatemala, I've seen what happens when you give a family little money and you tell them what to do.
They don't waste it.
Teach a man to fish.
Some do waste it because they don't get proper.
They don't know
They
how
don't
to use
get
it.
proper like fellowshipping, or what's the like following up. People don't follow up with them. They give them money, like, all right, do this, and you'll be fine.
Right.
I feel like they still have that mindset. Like, you know, they would always say, if you give a Guatemalan a chicken, they won't use the chicken for the eggs. They'll just eat the chicken. And so, because that's their mindset, food. I eat the food instead of thinking, oh, this chicken can give me eggs, and then those can hatch, and I'll get more chickens. They don't think like that.
Right.
And it's because it's
See,
scary
later.
to think like that, because they need food today and for the next day.
I'm getting hungry.
It's because once you're hungry, like that's all you think about.
Yeah.
Like that is your mindset.
Yeah, and that
And
would
they're
take a long
old.
time
Just
for the
survive.
chicks to get big and like.
Yeah. Hunger controls your life.
And so, did you guys have more questions, or did you want
Did you have more, Rachel?
Oh, I just because you talked about women, I didn't understand that. You're
Oh, so part of one of the MDGs was like gender equality and empowering women. And so in Cambodia, it is an issue. They respect women so much.
so women are over men.
No, not when it comes to like education and jobs. But they're respected. They're like, oh, women, but they don't.
So it's not
Like-
like in a round like.
Women can get jobs, not as easily as men, but and when they do get jobs, say a man and a woman get the same job, the woman is going to get paid less just because she's a woman. So
Oh.
that's the issue. Women find jobs, work
so why
just
are
as
you
hard as
talking
men.
about empowering women though? Like give them
Because
more rights.
because right now the government and all the leaders are men. There's very few. It's
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 like
not
that
in their
every
it's not
country,
it's
though,
not in their
isn't it?
it's not in their tradition to have women become leaders or become something. They're like
They're more
their
traditional.
tradition. Yeah, their tradition was a stay-at-home
Nurture.
mom, nurture. That's the Cambodian idea.
So you
But
think if there was more women in government, it'd be better?
not just government, just in in everything.
Yeah,
Because if you have a man and a woman working to support a family, that's great. That's they need that in Cambodia especially. And so that's what I was talking about.
You're talking about educating women, how this will change their conditions.
Yeah, the tradition of because I said that I feel like if more women become educated
Yeah.
and if that then people are going to have to hire them more and going to have to then pay them equal wage.
So they
Because
should work their way up.
Because right now, I don't think there's that many educated women anyway. That many educated um, that pass primary and secondary schools. But if you get more of them, there's going to be a need, a demand for more jobs, and they're going to have to pay them equally. That's not fair. If you have a few,
Right.
I feel like you can get away with, oh, it's a woman, just pay her less. But if there's a whole bunch, as much as there are men, then I feel like that can change. And like I said, poverty is that's the root as well, because women are also dropping out um, to work in the fields, to um, help stay at home, help the family, help the kids. That's why. But if a family has money, um, they don't have to work as much. They can stay in school. So that's why I said again, poverty can help solve a lot of these issues.
Um, so do you think like all these problems like child mortality, education, gender equality, maternal health, poverty, and hunger, like do you think like other third world countries, developing countries have these problems? Um, which yeah, do you think like all the other third world countries like have these problems and this is what like keeps them in that cycle?
I feel like the majority do. Yeah, Cambodia is um, like if we're talking about levels of being civilized, they're at the bottom. They're
For
like
being civilized.
not civilized. So that's the like
What they do eat with their toes.
um,
I know what you're trying to say.
I mean like third world country.
yeah, but
No.
yeah,
Primitive? Oh, like they don't have TVs, they don't have cars.
it's like the same as like Guatemala. Like you should compare U.S. to like Guatemala or Cambodia. I stick
How
my
about
hand here, but
Cambodia and Guatemala?
they're about equal. Yeah, they're about equal. They're in the same situation.
And
Not everyone, but as
Yeah.
you go out to the rural areas, like in Cambodia, it's like 90% live in rural areas, and almost 90% of those people are the poor.
Where is Cambodia?
Where is it? In Asia.
I know. But is
It's
it by China?
it's next to
India?
Laos, Thailand, and Vietnam,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
the
so
Gulf
it's
of
to
Thailand.
the far right.
It's off the Gulf of Thailand. Yeah,
So they have a coast.
they do. It's like a
So they could make good profit off of
They're-
that coast.
yeah, they
have
do.
a big
Their
fishing
main
industry.
they are the largest. They have one of the largest fisheries in the world.
Dang.
And so that's one of
So
their main
why
money.
are they in poverty?
Why are they in poverty? Because there's pollution.
Oh.
and
Do other countries
and a lot
do
of
go on
them-
their coast?
and a lot of them don't follow like a lot of the fishery rules. They use illegal techniques and they I don't know. There's rules for it and they don't follow the rules for
So
it.
basically they could have the biggest one, but it's just a
They do make money for that. That is a huge and a lot of them not just to make money, a lot of them that's their food source. But
I just realized I have a lot of clothes that say made in Cambodia. They must have a big
Textile.
what is it called? Yeah, like sweatshops. I bet they have a lot of those.
yeah, they export a lot of things to the U.S. I think it was the worth of their exports to the U.S. was $2 billion. And so,
But they don't get paid nearly as much as what they profit.
I'm kind of something this way. I don't know if it cares.
You know what I mean?
What? Oh yeah, obviously. It's like same
Bad
with like child
conditions.
labor. Who knows? But yeah.
That's what makes me mad is child labor. They quit school early and they work in sweatshops.
Did you guys have any more questions, or can I throw some at you guys, or?
Well, you said that recently they've had better access to healthcare. I just wanted to know why.
Because the government has seen that's an issue. There's only like 4 or 5 really good hospitals that are kind of spread out through Cambodia. Cambodia's huge. Imagine if there was like, I don't know, like the comparative
Hospital
size.
at the way
Basic-
top
Yeah.
of Idaho.
They have to travel hours, some of them, to a hospital. And so they know that's a big issue. People die. They need a hospital.
It's because no one is no one has.
Huh?
Not a lot of educated like doctors.
Yeah, like
Well, just
because people are dropping
that-
out of school and there's no one becoming
the
doctors.
country's poor. It's been through a lot of wars. There's so many factors why it's just not really a developed country yet. And so that's why I said they really need like third parties. They need partnerships from other countries to help them. No doubt.
So do you have questions for us then?
No, just one thing that we kind of discussed in class. My teacher gave me $1. We call it the development dollar, and I can only spend it if it benefits Cambodia. And so that doesn't mean I can't buy something that says made in Cambodia. It's like, well done. It has to like literally get there, help somehow. And so he gave me that, and to think. I can't speak.
It's okay.
I'm thinking Cambodian. No, I'm just kidding. So I've been thinking of ideas on how to use it. But first, I want to kind of hear your. If I were to give you $1, each of you $1, and like, all right, how would you use this? You can think of any possible.
Just
anything.
$1?
Just $1. Well, you can add more to it if you want to use personal money. But how would you use that to benefit Cambodia?
I'm thinking of few things. I remember in like high school they showed us this website where like you actually I don't even think you have to pay money. But it's like you type in something and then it will give you like 10 grains of rice donated to like this country. Do you know what I'm
Oh
talking
yeah,
about?
it's the word thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
that's
the
free.
definition of this word. If you get it right, you
Then
add
you-
like 10 grains of rice.
Yeah. Or you could like donate the dollar to, I mean, it's $1, but like to a foundation or a charity that goes towards
With
them.
those, you gotta make sure it.
Research them.
Yeah, you gotta research them.
Or you could
But
buy
that's an idea. That's a good idea.
buy like a canned food or something and like I don't know.
And
Like,
send it?
but
Yeah.
that would cost more money.
No, but it's
Or
okay if it costs more money. It's just how would you use that money?
invest it in environment.
Yeah, some people. Yeah, some people invest it, make more,
and then use all that for
yeah.
giving them something.
I like the idea of like sending care packages, like getting like church organizations together to make care packages and send them to Cambodia. Give them to kids, like guys clothes, maybe some non-perishable foods,
That was always great for, especially in Cambodia.
and then a book of wine. Slide that in there. Is there a temple in Cambodia? Are there even missionaries out there?
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know if there's a temple.
Because
I don't know if
if
they would
there
allow
isn't
that.
missionaries, it's for one of two reasons. Because it's a communist country, but you said it was democracy, or it's just too much. So
Well, I'm not sure. I think there are. I think there are missionaries there. I'm trying to think of any people I know that went to Cambodia. But for me, I was kind of like my solution. Uh, I feel like with the development dollar, I feel like I could use that in my solution. Like if I were to go there, I feel like um, I can't help maybe a whole community, but I can pick out a family, maybe a really poor family, and um, I can use that dollar and maybe a little bit more of the money to help them get going, to teach them, to really teach them, and to try to change that mindset, and motivate them even to let them know they can leave poverty, get out of poverty. So that was kind of my idea. But there's been, did you guys have anything else? Huh? I'll ask you one more question. You ready? So if you were to go to Cambodia and go to the rural areas and ask maybe a poor family one question, what would you ask them? Anything.
What do you most desire in life?
If you desire most in life.
Yeah, and I want to see if it's money or if it's family or if it's health. I want to know where their mindset is.
Or food for the next day. They could say that.
They might
I just
just
want to eat
want a
tomorrow.
better future for their children. And then that'll, like, well, if you want that, then you
Yeah.
can better your education.
That's actually
and there's some
smart.
goals that-
That's actually really smart because they do have, they've been in that poverty state. They know what they want. They know what they need, but they don't know how to get it. And so it's like they just throw it away. But
just have
they're not
them connect
retarded.
two
They're
and
people.
two.
They know that they need something. That's good though. And then with that knowledge that you get from them, you can work.
Have them
Make
think of
ideas.
their own solutions.
Yeah.
I'm sure that they know what.
I saw this one thing. It was like these people that lived in huts. It was a video that we showed you. I think it was in class. To get light in their house, they used bottles and filled them up with water and put them on their roof. And so when the light hit the bottle of water, it like shined. It was crazy.
Dang.
It's just like science, but they used a bottle, a plastic like soda, plastic bottle, and they filled it with water. Just stuff like that, They don't know how to do that. They could be living in dark, and they probably have all those things. They just don't know how. They just need to be taught.
My question is, I don't know, that I would ask him would be like, what are your ultimate like dreams, I guess, for your children? Because if you say goals, I feel like they'll just be like, I want them to be farmers, like me. So like ultimate
Right.
like dreams for them. Like, do you have any higher expectations?
Right.
Not expectations, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like what do you
Just
want
to get
most
them
for your
thinking
children?
like outside of the box that they're in.
Mhm.
So, like for their children
Yeah.
or for themselves too.
Maybe if you had the money, what would you want your children to be, or how would you support
Yeah.
your children to become something better? What would you do? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Those are good questions. But I guess we can conclude. Thank you guys for being here, for participating. Like this class was
Terrible.
what? This class was awesome. It's really. I may have not gone a few times, but
You talk about education, you don't even go to school. This kid.
let me conclude. This class really focused on globalization and how really one person can make a difference. We have technology. You have your laptop. You can be helping people anywhere you want in the whole world, in many different ways. And so this was just to help open up our minds and hopefully our hearts to become better people and to understand more about globalization, how we all can connect. But that's I guess that's it. Thank you guys.
You're welcome.